Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci fi show where things can get totally radical. Now, today I'm going to be interviewing a filmmaker and an actress. Her name is Anna Scott. And Anna is the director. Anna Simone Scott is the director of a short film that my friend Lisa London is in. Remember, she was back on the show recently and talking about it because they're taking it to festivals and stuff. And I don't know why, but Lisa thought that Anna and I would be a perfect fit to talk. And so she suggested each other each other on Facebook um, the same day that I interviewed Lisa again, and I'm going to have her on the show. And we're going to talk about her career a little bit and that short film that they made and stuff, and promote the festivals and everything. And I'm pretty intrigued. She's actually from Australia, and she's Australian and Irish, according to my research and stuff. So, yeah, here is my interview with Anna Simone Scott. Hello, is this Anna?
This is Anna. Is this Tommy?
Yes, it sure is. How are you?
Hey. Oh, great. Good to connect with you. Thank you.
Yes, welcome to the show. Oh, so yeah, our mutual friend Lisa London, I guess she thought that we would be a great fit to talk. Exactly what did she tell you?
What did Lisa tell me? Lisa, well, that you did an interview with her, and because we were going off to Florida, I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. But that you interviewed people in the entertainment business. I'm not sure if they're mostly actors, but I've been an actor for many years before I moved into filmmaking a number of years ago. Um, so I think that's all I know right now, to be quite honest, Tommy.
Yeah, I've interviewed her twice actually
Right, right.
and stuff. But yeah, Lisa and I we get along very well because we're both perverts.
That's funny. Yeah, we had a wonderful time in Florida.
hmm So I see that you're from Sydney, Australia.
Well, originally, quite a long time ago, I started out as a teen actor,
hmm
working with some amazing people and very well-known talent, such as the iconic Aussie actor Jack Thompson, just at the age of 19, and you may not know him, he's a very, very famous Aussie actor who's actually, worked globally in huge movies. And I did a number of TV shows and became the face of Colgate. But as a theater trained actor, ironically, but that's how I started out actually working. Um, Put myself through college doing that as well, and getting a theater arts degree. And then went to London to work as an actor in London for 5 years, which was wonderful.
Wow. So you knew at an early age that you wanted to be an actress.
Yes, I did. I went to a very strict convent school,
Wow.
and my one relief from this incredibly strict institution was that we had a drama teacher at school, which was very fortunate, and she really encouraged me. So that was lucky.
Wow. I went to Catholic school for 8 years. That's why I am the way I am, so perverted.
Ah, well then you totally get it. Oh my God.
Yes, very much
Yeah.
so. Were there any American or Australian movie stars that you were influenced by?
Um, Yes, well, always. I mean, I've always been influenced by some of the older Hollywood stars, such as Katharine Hepburn,
hmm
who I always admired as just an iconic and um, such a strong and yet interestingly flexible, actor in so many ways. Um, and, later on, of course, Meryl Streep influenced me tremendously. I just thought she was so malleable and could really morph into just about anything, that she did.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just been so many. I mean, I will often go and see movies now, and younger women, such as Emma Stone, I just think is extraordinary. And Viola Davis, amazing. I mean, just extraordinary actress on so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I get moved and influenced for different reasons, and I've always been influenced also by male actors.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the iconic actors, Al Pacino, who I've met a couple of times actually, read a screenplay in his presence. He was at ICM listening to a screenplay to see if he was going to do it, and there was just about 12 of us in the room. And I'd met him before at the Actors Studio, so I've always admired his work enormously on so many levels. And actually, in the reading was also Joseph Sutton, a wonderful English actor who I've also incredibly admired for many reasons. So I'm sort of, fluid with that. So suddenly somebody will come to my attention who I didn't really think of before, such as Ryan Gosling, and I'll suddenly see him in something and go, wow. I love his stillness. I love his depth of character and the inner life.
Yeah.
When I really feel a good inner life going on in film actors, I think that's very compelling.
Certainly. Did you do a lot of theater when you were starting?
Yes, I did a lot of theater. Actually, my first role ever on stage was pretty enormous. It was probably actually too large a role for me at the time because I was only about 18.
Mm-hmm.
I played Cressida in Shakespeare's Troilus and Cressida, and that was a bear to learn and quite demanding. And then that was not a paid gig. My first equity paid gig was actually a review show where I had to play about 10 different characters, and it was mayhem backstage with wigs flying and costumes flying, and talk about being thrown in at the deep end, So,
Yeah.
that's what happened there. Then in England, I did a lot of theater. I played lead roles in many, many large repertory theaters, and also on the London stage. And then they brought back the iconic, I'm using that word probably too often. I think that's the third time I've used it. I'll change it in a minute.
Oh, it's okay.
A well-known series, Hammer House of Horror, from many, many years ago. They actually brought that back and did a revamp of it, so I was in that. And then I was in a couple of other TV series that shot in beautiful locations throughout Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to New York actually to study with a couple of teachers and kind of indulge myself in studying again because I've been working so solidly, and I really felt like, I can afford to just, have about 6 months off and just explore and study and, fell in love with New York and all the rest of it. That's what happened there. So then I continued to work as an actor there, did a lot of the soaps. I starred on, that was a thing then that many theater actors did. You could start on the soaps and then go to the theater and do a show in the evening, which was great fun.
Yeah. What did you work with any iconic English actors?
Well, at the time they were iconic.
Yeah.
But now they probably would not be that well known. There was a very, very famous comedic actor. I mean, he was a huge star called Bob Grant, and I actually was extremely young. I was only 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we were playing in a 1,500-seat theater in a well-known repertory theater in England. And so it was packed every night because, he was in a show called On the Buses for years, and that was before I, of Welsh actors. You probably wouldn't know who I starred opposite. And there was trying to think of her name now, Barbara Bach, who was I was co-starring opposite in the Hammer House of Horror show. That was her name. So yeah, it was just along the way, all kinds of incredible people.
Did you ever work with?
Yeah.
Did you ever work with Robert Morley?
No, I didn't, but I've met him.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, because I'm a voting member of the British Academy due to my work in Britain.
Mm-hmm.
I go to all the things here in LA, and we have a lot of receptions and a lot of shows. So he came years ago. He came to an event, and he's a fascinating performer.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. And I'm fortunate to be a member of the British Academy because we really do have some pretty awesome events leading up to the BAFTA Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we had a small cocktail party for Gary Oldman.
Oh.
That was leading up to the darkest hour, you know. So and I got to chat with him actually about theater, which was very interesting. So yeah, a lot of good things come out of that membership, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few years ago, I've always written my whole life, and I got some script option that I wrote. I've always written plays as well as films.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of years ago, I wrote a dark comedy that people liked, so gave me money to do it, which was really terrific, called Coming Into Money, and ironically, starred in it. We shot, it did very well. It went to Academy qualifying film festivals all over the place and sold to TV. So I thought, hey, I really like doing this. I like being at the inception of the idea, so I started to write more. Had another couple of films made that I wrote. I wrote one about Chekhov, which was based on my play, but I also played the lead in opposite. He's a very well-known English actor called Neil Dixon, who starred in Twin Peaks and came back for the second Twin Peaks. And Neil has done a ton of work with Julian Sands and all kinds of very well-known people. And so I shot that film opposite Neil,
Mm-hmm.
and my producing, directing partner, Peter Sands, directed it. And we went to Prague and shot it, and Pasadena, shot it here in Pasadena as well. And it ended up winning a BAFTA LA member. We had a member film festival for a couple of years, and it scooped the Best Film Prize, which was pretty awesome. So from there, I continued to write, and a woman hired me to direct her film, and that's how I started directing.
Wow, that's amazing.
I felt very fortunate. Yeah, she hired me to direct a film set in Wyoming. We shot it in Simi Valley called The Aerial Girl. She produced it, wrote it. I couldn't believe it really all came together. She gave my company, Vision Fire Films, producing credit because we did end up getting an amazing ranch location in Simi Valley. So I did really, really well. I went to about 40 festivals worldwide.
Wow.
A bunch of awards. I got filmmaker awards and all kinds of stuff. So I really wanted to direct a lot more out of that, and I was attached to a couple of features to direct, but hard for people sometimes to get all the funding.
Yeah.
So I then started to plow in and complete a couple of feature scripts that I wanted to direct. So I'm just finishing off those now. And this year, we shot a pilot, a TV concept pilot that I wrote that's
Nice.
in English and Spanish.
Wow.
In LA. It's kind of exciting. It's called The Other Day, El Otro Dia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very relevant to a lot of societal, some political things that we're going through without hitting people over the head with it. It's really, human relationships intertwining just prior to Thanksgiving with their various crises.
Yeah.
And I play a neurologist, which is interesting, a neurologist who's actually losing her mind. Because I thought that'd be really interesting if a neurologist who looks into people's minds was actually losing her own mind. So,
Yeah. What year did you move to Los Angeles?
oh God, I've been here now a long time. I had a place in New York, so it's hard to say because I was back and forth probably just on 20 years. It's really a while. But I was back and forth to New York so much because I still had a place there for quite some time, so I didn't really feel like I totally had moved here until I eventually let go of my place back there.
Was it difficult getting work out there
What, in New York?
in Los Angeles?
Oh, out here in LA?
Yeah.
Well, I think the first few years was a flurry, because when you're new, there seems to be always a flurry of activity.
Yeah.
But then I sort of, because that's also the time when I got more involved in my writing, I purposely, withdrew a bit to be able to, and I got paid for some options and things like that, and I thought, this is really cool. I really like this, and then I would come out of that shell, sitting for hours and hours a day on my own writing and go, whoa, enough of this, I need to act again. So it would really kind of go in cycles because of whatever I was finishing or completing or wanting to get going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
I saw that you were on the episode of Divorce Court.
oh, yeah, that's funny. I think that was the first thing I ever did here, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, the ubiquitous IMDb. Do you realize I've got about 8 credits that are still not even on there? I don't know how this happens. And you write to them, and
Yeah.
and some of them you have to have an episode number. And I think, oh my God, now I have to go and dig and find the episode number. So oh well.
Yeah,
So,
I've had a lot of guests on the show who I've brought up certain movies and stuff, and they tell me they weren't even in that, and this IMDb puts it on there.
I know it's so bizarre. I was in something apparently way before I was born. So, that was clever.
Yeah, you also were on a couple episodes of Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, I actually did a bunch of episodes. I did about 5 or 6. All those are not on there. I played 3 different French women.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried recently to put the third French character on there, and they came back and said, what episode number is that? I thought, I have no idea. I played Marie-Helene from Quebec. So I kind of had to work on my Quebecois accent, which had not. I had played French before in New York, actually, on a soap, but that was the first time for someone from Quebec.
Yeah.
And then after that, I came back and played a French actress.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played, after that, a French governess slash babysitter, I guess. And that was a really kind of fun role because she was off the wall,
Yeah.
kind of disturbed. So, yeah, 3 different characters on that show.
Yeah, yeah. I've interviewed a lot of actors who have been on soap operas, and they tell me they don't ever want to go back to that because they're long and tedious, and there's so much dialogue to remember.
There is. Yeah, I mean, then they change a lot of stuff, too, at the last minute.
They change stuff. They don't stop shooting. You keep doing it over and over again with the cameras rolling.
Right.
It's just, oh my God. It's, I'm surprised it hasn't become a dying medium, you know?
I know, I know, I know. I mean, I had fun with it when I was in New York because I was always doing theater in the evening, and then I'd always finish in time to get to the theater, and it felt like a very full life then because of the life I had on stage at night as well. So
Hmm. So
it was
where,
really great.
yeah. So did you like go to film school or like learn to direct from certain people?
I'm sorry, for acting or
Oh, I mean for directing.
for directing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, not really. I mean, other than um, witnessing and paying attention to various directors who directed me, and also
Yeah.
Some extraordinary directors who actually will sit in a room with about 20 of us, 30 of us, and just talk in detail about their craft and what they do, what kind of rehearsal process they have, how involved they get with the technicalities with the cinematographer, how much they really know about that. So I've done a lot of those workshops. I've also done some camera workshops just to get myself more familiar with cameras and lenses and for the kind of look that I would want so I can really communicate properly.
Yeah.
So I have done that. As far as directing actors, I think I really have a skill with that. My actors have always done very well in my films. They keep getting nominated and winning awards, which is phenomenal. I feel very proud of that.
Yeah.
I feel as though I'm good at kind of getting inside where they're coming from, and it could be all kinds of different training or not training or whatever. But on a human behavioral level, I'm just pretty good at that. And I have trained as an actor with many different people, from the actor studio to classical training to so many different points of view that I personally am also very flexible. So, I feel like I can speak the language with actors pretty well, and that is probably my big forte as a director. Also, I think I've got a very good visual eye because my other major in college was actually art.
Yeah.
My two majors were theater and art. So I'm a very visual person. So yes, I've actually just been sent a script with a view to directing it, but who knows if these people have the funding yet? That's always the thing that you have to, you know, kind of wait and see if they actually get that together. But
Yeah.
it's always
Oh, go ahead.
no, it's always great to. I love it when people send me scripts and say, "Hey, would you be interested in directing this?"
Oh,
So we'll
yeah.
see where that goes.
Yeah. I said the script to a director that I worked with. I was in a music video he directed, and
Yes.
that he didn't want to do it because there was no financing behind it.
Right. Right. Well, I always say, and this is what I've said in the past, even though in one particular case the woman did not get the financing for it, and then she ended up doing it as a short, and I just didn't want to do, another short. I was really, the only short I want to do is a ghost story that I've written that's very evocative, and that's one I would really like to do. But so when she couldn't get the funding for it as a feature and carried it back to a short, I kind of moved away from that. But I always say to them, if I like the script enough, I say, sure, attach me. I don't know, what it will do for you, but I have, won a bunch of awards as a director, as a filmmaker, and also as my writing, and I can guide you also as a writer. So I'm always, if I like the script enough, I always say, sure, why not attach me? Let's see how it goes.
Hmm. Did you ever work as a personal assistant on the set before?
No, no, never done that.
Yeah, some people have told me that's a great way to get into filmmaking or get your screenplays read.
Right, right. Well, yeah, I mean, right now, for the project I'm doing now, which is the TV concept pilot, I've got 7 more episodes to actually write of that. So when I go pitching it, I have to have a summary of those episodes. But right now, we're still editing, that pilot episode to make it look really spectacular. Um, so I tend to veer more towards, for one thing, I want to direct the stuff that I write, as well as direct other people's work.
Right.
I'm not really looking to sell a screenplay per se.
Hmm.
And I'm looking at the moment, obviously, for people who are interested, especially perhaps in the Spanish market, in my TV concept. So that is that's one thing I'm doing right now.
Nice. Um, so what can you tell me about the short film that you have with Lisa?
Oh yeah, so the film Finding Mama is a totally off the wall piece. I had just come off writing a very intense script that I've been writing for a number of years. That was developed by an extremely well-known company, actually, so I was very fortunate. And I needed to I felt as though I just wanted to do something fun, because I do have a very wacky side to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I needed to just let loose and do something really fun. I was going through my scripts, and I thought, wow, I've actually written 60 pages of this piece, and I just let it sit there for a while because of my schedule. I didn't get around to going any further with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd worked on one of my plays with Lisa and Ronnie, called Tough to Love, which is now becoming a film script. And I said to them, hey, do you want to get together and just read, not the 60 pages, but like 10 minutes of it? And I just want to know what you think, because maybe I'll do something with that. Maybe I'll do a little piece of it. Maybe I'll do 3 minutes of it, add it to my director's reel, or you can add it to your reel, whatever,
Yeah.
So I didn't expect them to be so effusive so immediately. So we got together, and they read it, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, what? So we pulled it together, and it's kind of a crazy story about a mechanic and a stripper, if you can imagine. I just wanted to write about two odd people. Not that strippers have to be odd or mechanics, but I just wanted to write about an odd relationship where she wanted him to commit, but she was really a screwed up person because she'd been through many different foster homes, and in a way it's kind of a tragic life that she's had, but I do it with humor. It's a dark comedy, I should add that.
Yeah.
And so she decides at some point that she's had enough of him not wanting to commit. She wants to go off and find who her real mother is.
Yeah.
And he kind of messes with her head, and there's a twist at the end of the story, because as a mechanic, he's been working on this beautiful vintage Porsche, which we were so fortunate to get through a good friend of Lisa's. And so she's thrilled to think that she could drive off in this fabulous Porsche. She's an off-the-wall character. She's like, well, maybe I'll go to Alaska. Maybe I'll go here. Maybe it's just, And she gets into the Porsche, and he played a very bad trick on her because it's stick shift, and she can't drive a stick.
Mm-hmm.
So it has some sadness in it, in a wry way.
Yeah.
And I have fun with the characters, and both Lisa and Ronnie are fabulous, and they're both just wonderful in it. It becomes, what I like about it, it's a dance between them. It's a dance in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that dance so well,
Mm-hmm.
And that is a metaphor, because at the top of the movie, Lisa is dancing. So then we see her in that dance mode and not wanting to continue that in her life. And then we get it. We get that her relationship with Sugar, her mechanic boyfriend, is a dance too. They're dancing around each other. They're dancing around commitment. They're dancing around, all the little ways people toy with each other in a relationship. So it's been doing really well. It went to Garden State Film Festival, New York City International, several festivals in California, and then, of course, Central Florida, where we just were, and played to screen to a packed house, and got a great response, so that was terrific.
That's great. It sounds like it's a pretty good short. How did you meet Lisa?
I met Lisa years ago at a workshop,
Mm-hmm.
actually, and so we knew each other from the workshop, and then, whatever, we just, I didn't go, I stopped going to the workshop because then I started going to the active studio, actually, that's what happened, so then I was ensconced there for a while, and then I think we met up again because I saw her on Facebook or something. I can't remember, but we became friends again about 5 or 6 years ago. And it's been terrific,
Yeah.
Been working on different scripts together, and worked on this, and then hopefully, something else down the line, And and
Yeah.
Lisa kindly introduced me to Ronnie Marmo, um, who's currently starring in a one-man show about Lenny Bruce, which is just phenomenal.
Nice.
So I felt very fortunate to get out and play with these two terrific actors.
Yeah. I just adore Lisa. I mean, she's so open-minded and not easily offended. She's like a girl you could hang out with, you know.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. That's true.
Yeah, when she was on last time, yeah, although I think I went a little overboard on some of my jokes because there was like these like pauses. I was like, guys, did I just like offend her? Because the first time, oh my God, I was making her laugh the first time.
Right, right.
You know?
And then you didn't know where the joke landed, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and plus I think the phone was cutting out too.
Mm, right. So
Uh,
where are you located, Tommy?
I'm in Redding, California. I've been here a year now. Been here just temporarily until my mother retires early next year, and then we're going to go to Los Angeles after.
Okay, great,
I'm
great.
I'm originally from San Francisco, and I lived there up until April of last year.
Oh, cool. I love San Francisco.
Yeah, I liked it the first half of my life, and then when it got really tech based in Silicon Valley, around starting around 2010, it just got just unbearable to live. I'll tell you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, I know what you mean for sure. You know, yeah. Well, I don't know what else I can tell you right now about what I'm up to. As I say, I'm working on a script called Tough to Love based on my play. It's got some phenomenal roles in it.
Hmm.
Um, I'll be playing a role in it, but directing it. All going well. I'm coming together. And, I just went with a new agent recently.
Hmm.
That's all good. And that pretty much brings us to today. I've got some other scripts as well, but they're a little on the more expensive side, so
So
you know, I don't put those on the front burner because they're slightly more ambitious as to what the budget is are going to be.
yeah, I think you're on a really good path right now, and I think you will get those scripts eventually made.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, and I'm looking forward to doing some more episodes of I watched Radia the other day, which will be shooting around LA, the LA area anyway. So
Hmm.
I'll let you know about that.
That would be great. Yeah. And I love that picture you posted on Facebook where you're in a bikini.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't do too many of those. This is like the first one in many years that I would do that because I'm thinking, oh, serious director, writer, and here I am in a bikini. But then, you think, well, why not at some point?
Well, do you have a secret to maintaining your youthful appearance?
Oh, well, thank you. Probably good genes. My mother looked, even though she and I really didn't look alike. She was born in Ireland, very dark hair,
Hmm.
tiny, and I'm 5'7". She was about 5'1". But she looked um, much younger than her years always. So I thank some genetic things there. But other than that, I mean, I'm not a fanatic, but I've never eaten meat. I don't know if that makes any difference whatsoever, quite frankly. But this is how I live. I'm not strict vegan or anything like that. I love seafood. And by the way, the seafood in Florida
Hmm.
really was just phenomenal. Really.
I love seafood.
Oh my God. It was out of this world.
My mother's allergic to it, unfortunately, but
Oh no.
I'm a huge seafood guy, and I try to have it
Oh,
as often as I can.
yeah, me too. Lisa and I had grilled oysters one day that were to die for.
Ooh,
Oh my God. At this most fantastic little bar. It was just, it was awesome. that kind of bores me after a while. Sometimes I'll do a really quick yoga run through, like I'm on speed or something.
Yeah.
I'll do about 10 poses and go, okay, that's it now. So I tend to get a little impatient. That's really, yeah, that's really about it. And I discovered the other thing, really, too, as I get older.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't need to eat as much.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I put on weight, and I really hadn't. It wasn't like me to put on weight. I mean, I think it was about 10 pounds, which for me was a lot. And I went, wow, how'd that happen? And then I looked at the size of the meals I'm eating. I'm thinking, geez, I'm eating like really big meals, especially at night. So I kind of just started to cut back the size of the portions, and it made a huge difference. And now if I start to eat too much, I really go, oh my God, that's too much food. So I notice it.
Yeah, in 2006, when I was 23, I found out I had to lose weight. I weighed 350 pounds, and
Mm-hmm.
in 9 months, I was 250, and then 3 months after that, I was 220. So I lost 130 pounds, and
Wow.
I maintained it. I stayed, well, I was away from 300 for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. I did get to 280 because I worked in a bar after that, but then 2015, after I'd been an alcoholic for a couple of years, I was back at
Right.
350. I had a car accident, and I
Mm.
was in the hospital for five
Mm-hmm.
months, and I was in a coma for 30 days, and
No way.
yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
pretty bad. Yeah.
That's terrible.
And when I woke up, I was 195, and I
Oh,
left the hospital at 220, and I maintained it again, and then but then I gained weight again, and when I got here, I was about the heaviest I've ever been, probably about 375. Now I'm
right.
320. I've lost all that weight, and now I got another 100 to lose.
Well, you can certainly do it because you did it before, but thank God you got through that coma. My God, that's really, really frightening.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, I'll tell you. It was all over
Wow.
Facebook and everything.
Your family and friends must have been really freaked out.
Yes. Oh my God, they were just they lost it. A lot of them fell into a deep depression, not just during it, but afterwards. It still
Right.
is there to this day, you know.
Oh, God. Well, I'm really glad you made it through that. That is just phenomenal. And I'm sure it has lasting sort of emotional impact, too. Just,
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
got scars, you know. I mean, I got metal in my leg, you know. That's the hardest part about losing weight now has been, you know, exercise because I got bad arthritis in
right,
my leg and stuff.
right,
But I just, cut
right.
back eating certain things and stuff, and that's how I'm doing my diet now. And I just,
Yeah.
walk for at least 30 minutes a day, and I'm good.
Good. I found that because I had a small injury a few years ago, and I just didn't want to take Advil all the time because it's crappy on your stomach after a while.
Mhm.
But then I found these CBD oils were amazing.
Mhm.
So that's fortunately we can get those in California without any problem. So I found that very helpful for any pain actually.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So like my diet is going good on that end and stuff, and I'm very lucky that I got through that.
Yes, you are very, very fortunate.
Mhm.
Every day we have to be grateful for just being here, I believe.
Yeah, because
It's the most,
I certainly I took it for granted for a while, and I didn't. I got to a point where I didn't want to go after my dream anymore of show business, but now I am. Because that's all I
good for
have.
you.
Yeah,
So are you mostly acting now, and what else what are you up to right now?
I'm primarily stand-up comedy, and
Right.
a little bit of acting, and just doing my podcast in my bedroom here.
Right. Good for you. That's wonderful. Well, I'd love to get some links to your stand-up work. So feel free to send them to me anytime.
Absolutely, and just make sure there's no kids around.
Oh, okay. No, there's no kids in my house, so don't worry. But I will be prudent with that. Yes. No worries. Got it. It's sort of like I was just thinking recently of Louis Black, and I haven't seen him around in a while, but I really do like Louis Black. I thought was very funny.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's up to these days.
he's very funny. He did a special that was on the internet. It was right after Trump got elected, and he was talking about it and stuff. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's around. I just haven't seen what he's up to. I love it when I just catch randomly people like him doing their latest. It's really fun, and I think he's smart with what he says too, which is great.
Yeah.
Smart and cutting.
Well,
It's a very hard thing to do, stand up. I admire you. I don't think I could do it. I've done plays where I've been the only person on stage for more than half an hour, which was tough. I like to have somebody with me to play off. I love to have that. And mind you, of course, as a stand-up, I guess you're playing off the audience, right? So,
right.
um, but it's very, very brave. I admire you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and you know something funny too. It's really easy for a very good actor to play a bad stand-up comedian in a movie. Robert De
Right.
Niro in The King of Comedy, or Tom Hanks in
Yes.
Punchline. That's just
Yes.
it's just natural for that. But it's very hard for a good actor to be a good comedian.
I'm sure that's true. I'm sure that's very true. And I love both those movies, by the way. I thought both those actors really pulled it off so well.
Yes. And there's some exceptions, like Andrew Dice Clay. He's a great comedian and a great actor.
Yes, yes, yes. And you've had that show not too long ago called Dice.
Yeah, I loved it.
Good, good. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good too, actually. Um, yeah, so it's interesting to see what else he gets up to.
Yeah, I was pretty upset that it got canceled so abruptly like that. But I'm not surprised
Yes.
because it was at 20th Century Fox Studios, and they just got bought by Disney.
Right, right. Well, it's like, what are you going to do? Shows certainly come and go, and sometimes you think, wow, I thought that show would go on, and it didn't, and then another show, you don't really know why it has continued. So there's sometimes no rhyme or reason to it. I don't get it, that's for sure. You know?
Yeah.
Um, I have a couple of shows I like to watch now for all kinds of different reasons. It could be for the cinematic part of it, for the look of it. Um, it could be for the intrigue of it. There was a show set in New York called The Night of, which I just loved because it was dark. It was to do with a crime. It really captured your attention and basically hooked you in a very interesting way. So you couldn't wait to see the next episode. And it was very, very well written, directed, and shot, and everything.
Yeah.
And then, then there's other reasons that I watch something that people have mixed feelings about, called like The Deuce, that was set in Hell's Kitchen, Midtown Manhattan during the 70s,
Mhm.
early 80s. And I kept watching that because I thought it had some good aspects to it. I liked it. I really wish that I had been a well-known enough director to have a crack at directing one of those episodes, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, there were a bunch of women who directed it. Several female directors on that show. Um, I felt as though it was going in a interesting sort of direction.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of different reasons that I say I watched them. I watched them
Mm-hmm.
amazing. The cinematography and everything is just outrageously good. So I get ideas from that, you know.
Yeah. Well, Anna, I thank you so much for coming on today, and I hope you keep writing and directing because you seem to have a
Thank
passion
you.
for it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And all the best to you, Tommy. Hope we can keep in touch.
Absolutely, and I'll tag you in this when it's uploaded.
Wonderful. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Take care and send me links to your work.
I sure will.
All right.
All right.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Anna Simone Scott. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Anna. You're a very nice lady. You have a very sexy accent, and I'm so glad that we got to talk today, and I will definitely keep in contact with you. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!